I work with a bunch of college guys, and actually four of the guys are going into business,
Yeah.
and a couple have already left the group and they're in the business world, but they're asking these questions of, they're just trying to find their way.
Yeah.
And so say you had an audience with these college guys, and they're in the business school here at UGA, and in one part of the business school or another, anything from marketing to uh, IT to you name it.
Yeah.
What kind of questions would you want to ask them, and what kind of advice would you give them?
I'm a big believer in assessments. I love, I geek out on things like strength finders and the six types of working genius. I'm actually a certified facilitator in that as well. I think one of the first things I would do is I would encourage them to take some assessments if they haven't already, and kind of
Okay.
find identify where their strengths are, right?
Okay.
And then I would recommend a book to them by a gentleman named Patrick Lencioni. Do you know Patrick? Have you heard of Patrick Lencioni? He wrote the five dysfunctions of a team.
Yes. Hmm.
But he also wrote a book called The Motive, and that's a great book for folks that are, at the beginning of their careers, or in the middle of their careers, or even at the end of their career. It's a great book, but the the Cliff Note version of that book is it helps a person identify what is your why.
Okay. That's
Everyone needs to
significant.
everyone needs to have a why. So if I'm talking to a group of college, young men or women that are looking to branch out, into business or any venture they're looking to venture into, my first question would be, why do you want to do that? And it can't be a casual choice. It can't be something, well, I can't think of anything else. Well, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. You
Yeah.
need to have some soul searching time where you sit down with yourself or others or a mentor, and you identify what it is you really want to do and why you want to do it. And your
Hmm.
why should always be, I think your why should never be because I want to make scads of money.
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice if you can make scads of money, it's wonderful, right? But your why should always be what sets your soul on fire. What is it
Yeah.
that makes you, get up in the morning and put your socks on and get to work, and enjoy it, you know?
So let me flip this so we can kind of have a living example here. All right. Why are you doing this right now? Because you could be sitting on the front porch,
Yeah,
you could be
yeah,
playing golf every day. You
yeah.
could be, going and visiting grandkids, and coming over and spending time with your buddy here. And, what, why is it that you're doing what you're doing?
Well, I will tell you one of my five top strengths in String Finders is developer.
Okay.
And so, as a developer, I really enjoy helping people grow and help develop them, to get them to the next level or the next job or whatever it is, that God has in store for them. And so I knew that without, there's 65 strengths when you take the test. There's
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them, right? And that one's in the top five. And I'm like, okay, no surprise there, because that's really what I enjoy doing. So for me, my why is I want to help younger, up and coming business owners and executives and marketing, executives to grow and just feed them with as much knowledge as I possibly can to help them get there. I
Okay.
love that stuff. I have there's been people that have worked for me over the years that today are heads of marketing, CMOs, senior vice presidents of of marketing of major brands that if I shared with you, you would recognize every single brand, and they are now
Mhm.
running entire brand departments at those organizations,
Yeah.
and that makes that I'm more proud of that than I am any accomplishment in my career.
Yeah. And that's, truthfully, that's why I'm doing this podcast, because that's part of that for me. And you helped to clarify some of that with me, even when we talked a couple of months ago, that this just fits.
Yeah,
You know, I I want to help people. I want to help the Bill Blacks get into people's lives wherever they might have that need. And that's
yeah,
why interviewing all these different types of people, because I know too that your story is something that is going to help people. And I do want to dive more into that in a minute, but you know, because where you came from and where you are, what you went through. I mean, I remember those days, you know, back in middle school, and you were this string bean guy, and I was almost as tall as you. And now, if you can't see, I mean, I think you ended up what, 6'10", and
Well, I think I'm 6'7" right now. So.
Yeah, well, we do shrink a little bit as we get older.
But everybody's 5'8", you know, on Zoom. So
yes, and that's good, because that's me. You know, well, 5'7". So I'm right there. You know, I seem like I'm average.